We have, like usually, we have TBR, Team Battle Royale, where you have, last time we had 5 teams with drafted players. So I think we had like 60 players and they were drafted by 5 captains. And then these captains seated their players for an FFA schedule for an entire month, where you had like special modes, random heroes, 2v2v2. We had a pre-team mode where 2 players from one team, you had 8 players joining and 2 players from one team, but no one knew who's with who. And these players had no shared vision, for example. So they just knew they had to make one of them win, but they were not in a team, like in the force thingy in the lobby.
Right. With
So.
those news and introductions, we go into our second attempt of starting this game, and this time Qwest let us know that everything is all right. So all of our 4 finalists have wonderful conditions to go into the FFA Masters Season 31 Grand Final. Boys, introduce us to the map and the starting positions and what's going to happen.
So yeah, it's a small map, a new map really, just created by Jale Viliki, one of the popular map makers, just some weeks ago for the contest. Qwest picked it, and it's a map with not much gold. It has, I think, less gold than almost any other map that we are playing regularly. It has only 156k gold, compared to, for example, Fountain of Manip, which has 170k, another 4-player map. So gold, not really easy to get here. You have free expansions, where everyone has 1 free natural expansion without creep camps. So as you see here at the bottom left, nice to get them without any creeping, which is nice for undead. And apart from that, many green spots here.
I want to jump in real quick. This is a unique free-for-all map in that there is no creeps on this natural expansion. Only 4,000 gold right now, but it's going to be interesting to see these players build orders. As you can see, Younker in the bottom left goes with the Necropolis first and a Crypt for a fast expansion. Qwest, interestingly enough, has built 2 Necropolis already in his main for a total of 3. Not sure if that's overkill, but Qwest is one of the innovators on these undead build orders, so pretty cool to see.
And he was the one picking that map, and Hightech, you told me he is pretty creative when it comes to abusing maps.
Yeah, for sure. Like, he's extremely good in finding stuff that no one ever found, like inhabiting islands with infernals. And I think I told you or showed you the clip of that match on Murgle Oasis where there's no Zeppelin, but he managed to, with undead, to get on an island in the corner by unsummoning all buildings on the main map. And then he used the Banshee to take over enemy workers, got an elf staff and ivory towers, and yeah, with that he got on an island. So he's really finding that kind of stuff on maps, but not sure if there's that much stuff on this map. I don't know.
So just another note here. You see these 3 players are all going for a really macro heavy build, taking these expansions early. A Neutron, on the other hand, with a more standard creep route without actually taking this quick expansion. You know, there's pros and cons to doing that. He's going to be the first to grab this contested expansion between the yellow and pink player, which is important. And to be honest, their natural expos are not contested, so there is a train of thought that could make sense to not have to rush to get that expansion, even though there is no creeps on there.
Yeah, I like his call though to take the center expo. I think it's underrated. You only have 2 of these neutral expansions here. All other expos are basically in front of a player base, so it's nice to get these contested expansions early. And that's what he did in his round 4 match on this map, which he lost. But I think it's a good call. So I think I would tend to do the same. Take it early, although it's contested.
Right, I think I agree with you in that, and this is an interesting map in that it's a 4-way map, but as you mentioned, there's these 2 contested expansions on the north and the south. So the map is not exactly balanced as to who your first opponent is going to be. It's pretty much going to be determined, unless something weird happens, that yellow and pink will fight, blue and teal will fight because of these contested expansions in the middle. So we'll see if that ends up being the case.
So as we all know from Todd's town hall, the humans have no chance as they are both fighting an undead.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, humans have a hard time against undead since they buffed Dreadlord. So really, that's human historically was the strongest race in FFA always due to flexibility, masonry, and mass TP. And triple heroes in general of human are not bad with brilliance, but since that buff of Dreadlord became much more difficult for human against undead, so since then human fell off a bit, but is still very strong and has a lot of different timings here. And we'll see if I don't really think Neutron will play as passively as he did in that semi-final. I think he will play more aggressively again and try to go for an early push here.
Talking about the undead real quick, we saw how strong a Dreadlord can be, and Younker is picking a Dreadlord first. On the other side, by Qwest, we see a Death Knight first. Can you go into like what are the pros and cons and what might be the reason for that?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, Dreadlord is definitely going to be the strongest undead hero by far after their buffs, both against undead and against human. Dreadlord's an interesting hero that as you level up sleep, the mana cost actually goes down, which of course is unique. In addition to that, Carrion Swarm can now hit mechanical units, which helps a lot in free-for-all, as we see a lot of gyrocopters, or I guess they're called flying machines now, and siege engines. Now, the disadvantage of going Dreadlord first is, of course, you lose the early mobility of Unholy Aura. So both options are very good. It just kind of depends on the player's preference and style. I think Qwest style, possibly with more hit and run and using the mobility, the Death Knight may be a better choice. But again, just contrasting styles, I don't think one is necessarily better than the other.
We do see Younker going for this early red camp here, which will be a very nice XP boost for his Dreadlord. And in the meantime, I think even better, Qwest going into the center here with the Gargs, which will, if he manages to creep it, which seems very likely, he will get that level 6 permanent item. The only one on the map, so very nice to get it.
Yeah, if you play undead on this map, you should be rushing these dragons. Qwest is definitely doing that. Obviously, he's going to get a very early level up and strong item.
So last time on the second semi-final, we saw a map with a lot of marketplace, I think 4. Now there's only 1, right? So how hard are these battles for the high-level items?
I would say not. Like it depends really. Like if you don't have Gargs, you just don't have the chance to kill this mid early here.
I mean,
so,
down the road, like now the marketplace is open, right? And we'll respawn good items.
Yeah, I think it plays a role, but since players usually don't have that much gold, you usually don't, like, you're not able to stack your heroes widely as you are on that Harvest of Sorrow map that we saw in that second semi-final. So on this map, it will not be, like, I don't think the market will be really contested, like, unless there's one dominant player that manages to get way more gold than the others. It's usually, like, you select your items more carefully than you would do on a bigger map with more gold.
I think that the marketplace is going to be important. As Hightech said, there's not as much gold on this map, but of course there's only one market. So players will be trying to, get items before others. Importantly, if you guys see here, there's a Watcher Ward, which of course is permanent and non-dispellable, part of creeping it. Qwest also has full vision for the rest of the game on this market, not only to find these items, but also any player that goes through there. Really huge that there's a permanent ward there now.
Yeah, we saw last semi-final how great the Witch Doctor wards were already. Of course, they are way more spammable.
Right. And to your point, Remo, looking in the marketplace, the first big item that's come there, there's the Endurance Aura, which of course is a huge aura, and there's no Orc player in this game, so it'll be interesting to see which player possibly grabs that item first.
You know what I like a lot behind Neutron's base, because he was so lazy and didn't want to go for that uncontested natural? Qwest just put an Acolyte there and just builds a base right now.
I'm not sure, man. I mean,
Ballsy.
I guess Qwest has. I mean, he has surely checked out Neutron's match on this map. So he knows. I guess he has just observed that Neutron took it very, very late in his first game. So, and 4K are like obviously, I don't know, like if he unsummons and you just see the blight, Neutron could think that it was Younker who mined that. So could like if that gets through, it could be really, really nice for Qwest.
There would be another example of FFA being the Game of Thrones of Warcraft 3, as one viewer put it very, very nicely. So we're about maybe having a fight at the 12 o'clock.
Yeah, both 70 above 70 supply now. Qwest levels 2 to almost 3 on that Dreadlord, which is what you want to have. While Chafe with his usual combo here, MK, Alchemist, Paladin not yet with the levels he wants. And at the bottom now, Neutron attacking, but I don't really see him dealing much damage here. Dreadlord level 4 is dealing a lot of damage to human ground.
And moving away is also not too easy due to the cluster rockets that we see.
Yeah,
Interesting hero combo.
Never
Dreadlord,
seen it.
DK,
Yeah.
Tinker.
Really nice.
Yeah,
like
Younker's going all out anti-human with the Tinker. Of course, he's going to be able to use cluster rockets and carrion swarm against a human player. Already building abominations, which is not seen much in free-for-all. Obviously, a very good start here, even with the gargoyles against the human ground of Neutron.
Looking pretty good so far. The water elementals, yeah, they're kind of trouble for the Gargs, but the rifles, man, they don't stand a chance. DK is in trouble, so Neutron was trying to go for the hero focus instead. Archmage in trouble now himself.
Oh, there's a coil soon, but I guess he has to get away. Could have tried to go for the Archmage, but now the MK has a bigger invul, but yeah, Neutron falling low on HP here.
I will say that this hero combo, while effective against mechanical units and ground army, it's going to be susceptible against the human player if he's not eliminated. Obviously, you cannot coil a Tinker and heal the Tinker. You're also not going to have Lich, which is important because he's not going to have a ranged hero, which is going to make his orb focus less effective. And additionally, he's not going to have much of a hero nuke. I mean, I guess he would, but without a Nova, it's going to be different. So let's see if he can capitalize on the strengths of these heroes, this unusual hero combo, and you know how it turns out for him.
And at the top, Chafe is breaking this expo. No way for a Qwest to hold this, I think. He has a worm, but he needs to get more before he can hold this against tanks.
I think it's very important for the longevity of the game, as this was Qwest's 5th gold mine. So shutting that down early is pretty good. We have another fight in the south as the Tinker, as you pointed out, can't be coiled. So susceptible to Stormbolt, and that's exactly what we saw right here. Only level 2 hero, not that bad, but...
Yeah, Younker really wants his Dreadlord on level 5 and just mana potions over mana potions.
And Younker's in trouble, guys. He's got 60 food. He's almost supply blocked. His hero levels are lower. Neutron coming in with 5-4-1 hero levels and a strong army here. It's going to be difficult for Yellow Undead to survive.
Impressed on how well he survived in the semi-final when I counted him out already. Oh, we have another huge fight here once again. The TP out by Qwest. Looks like the Undeads are under heavy fire so far.
Yes, and look at Chafe here, guys, going to 100 food, where Qwest has stayed under 80 food, and the quick jump to high upkeep is working out for the human player.
So Younker, the reigning champion, down to 50. And Neutron just doesn't stop. He continues this. While we have another attack at the expansion, but Qwest definitely wants to hold this. Gargs are tearing these Dragonhawks apart for now. Shouldn't overcommit, I guess, but he still does. We see Barrage, something we never see in one-on-one, so nice to have it back once in a while.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Qwest do a little bit more kiting, but he did fine there. Younker's in a tough spot. Like I said, kind of an unusual hero combo, even an unusual army composition, going both Gargoyles and Abominations. If he was going to commit to Abominations and Tinker, I would have liked him to see more of a ground army with Fiends and A-bombs and statues instead of the Gargoyles.
Yeah,
Lots of damage from the Carrion Swarm. Neutron losing quite some anti-air right here. But
Yeah,
still
but
3 damage uptime for the mortar.
yeah, I guess he can break this, so it's looking really grim here for Younker. Killing the Paladin, though, so that's nice, but he's going to lose his main base, I guess. Not sure he can hold this. Lost the shop, so no more mana potions, and no more Black Citadel, so not looking too good for him here.
And a nice hold from Qwest. Qwest is up against the wall. Destroyed Teal's Paladin, also took him out of 100 food. Qwest is in an excellent spot now. Of course, still mining Neutron's mine.
And in a game like that, like there's a rule in general to not piece in a 4-way unless there's really one player who's toming his enemy for a long time, so it's getting too risky, but usually you don't piece in 4-way because you will only save that 4th player, and obviously it's bad for your own winning chances if you save a player in a 4-way because your own chances are better if one player is out. So in this situation, I guess if Shave and Qwest are piecing, they should not necessarily help Younker, but just either make sure Younker is defeated or just hoard on 50. So that's what you would usually want to do in this situation.
And I guess Younker is hoping for some help, as he called that he's dead.
Yeah.
So Neutron doesn't feed too much off of him.
Yeah, you would hope that, but I would say players became more honorful in that regard, and they tend to help more. Like when I started FFA, which is not that long time ago, but some years ago, it was more often the case that players would just kill you off, just make sure they get some experience off you too. So in this case, if it was Qwest, he would just walk down and kill the rest of Younker's units, just to make sure you get some XP and maybe an expo here. But we'll see.
Alright, so we saw a little question how much food Shave has, and he answers with honesty. Building a little teammate to, with combined forces, defeat Neutron down the road.
The town is under siege.
So another hoarding.
Yeah,
begins.
we see Qwest moving in here, and he is attacking Neutron, so it's good for Younker in this situation.
Yeah, it's an interesting idea, right? And as you said, it's usually not in the best interest to save the player, but if Qwest can help out the undead player a little bit and really feed experience from Neutron, not only does it make Neutron weaker in the late game, but also Neutron is a cross spawn from Qwest. So the chances of retaliation from Neutron is low in this case. It may be a good calculated move to get some experience from Neutron right now.
And he got all his gold there. So acolytes on their mission, like succeeded with their mission. So
I was about to say, like, Qwest knows that Neutron has like 4k gold less due to that taken natural.
Yeah, 200 IQ move right there from Qwest. That was awesome.
I mean, he still has, since he lost this mid expo, so Qwest has fewer gold than Neutron has, and than Shave has. So he really needed that. But for that reason, I think it would have been even more important for him potentially to get a gold mine from Younker. But it always feels bad, like to finish someone who's not entirely bad. But then again, if someone says he's dead, you should make sure that he's really dead. So there's no reason really to keep someone barely alive in a game. But that's why I still think it's questionable in this situation to help Younker. But we'll see.
Hey guys, I want to take a second to give a shout out to the map maker. Jail Veliki is the map maker. He is in the chat right now in the Twitch chat with everybody. He's made a number of maps for the competitive community, including 1-on-1 and 2-on-2 maps. He wanted to note that this current state of the map is unfinished. He has made some recent updates to the map, including increasing the gold on these mines and some other various fixes to the map. So look forward for an improved map going forward here, and potentially more map submissions from the map maker, Jail Veliki.
Pretty sick. Must cost a lot of time. So big shout out to you, my man.
Yeah, we had a lot of nice maps in that map contest, and we will see the winner rock slide on Re3 Champions. And yeah, we will surely swap the maps after, like, just have. That's what we always had on Play FFA Ladder 2, that we change maps every now and then after the season. So we'll see with Pat how that will work, but that we see some more of these nice new maps for sure. And
Awesome.
yeah, I can only encourage everyone to really just search for FFA and try not to get frustrated quickly. Reach out to any experienced FFA player if you need some tips. And it's very rewarding to win an FFA, even if it's more frustrating at the beginning, but it's really a nice mode to stick with. And in the meantime, Younker, yeah, now back on his own. He got Dreadlord level 5, but Qwest now back on Shave here, so he's up against Neutron again.
Yeah, Neutron, I mean, excuse me, Younker needs some mana potions on his Dreadlord. Of course, the carry and spam will hopefully bring the human back. He should be able to survive this, but yes, I'd be trying to get a mana pot on his Dreadlord.
Younker trying to TP out in the north. We saw Shave's expansion taken out as Qwest, of course, needs a little gold down the road with the main base. What is it? 3,000 only. The expansion 5,000. Not too much. But they're continuing to fight each other, and for Neutron, it's kind of an easy-ish game so far.
Yeah, I mean, he's getting not that much experience because obviously there's no gold for Younker to really get a lot of units here, but it's still good for him because Neutron has this mid-expo, so every minute that he can stick here on the left side, his expo is happily mining here, 5k left. But there's not that much gold left for either of these players, so will be interesting late game. Usually it either accelerates the game or it leads to one of these stalemates where no one is really able to fight anymore because no one has gold, especially if it's a long four-way, so we will see how it goes.
But that Sweetness level 6 for Neutron already, still at around 80. Younker not breaking upkeep at all because you can't really Shave at 100. Qwest at 66.
Yeah.
That's a big fight right there. Okay, so far, looking pretty good for Qwest actually. But
Yeah,
how much will the tank still do against all these Gargs? I think in the end they might win, but let's see what the Dreadlord is capable of. Stormform obviously nice, Carrion Swarm rocks him, but that was... Oh, he has 2 mana potions. That's so much damage.
And almost level 5 Dreadlord, so just maybe one more tank and that should be it here. I guess since the DK is not there, yeah, exactly. 1 XP more than he needed. Like, lucky for him that he pulled away the DK. And needs to be careful with the Lich. Ah!
It's right next to him. Holy Light is not enough.
Yeah, but Shave will need to pull back here at some point.
Yeah, Shave lost a lot, like around 30 supply, and Qwest barely lost anything, like a couple of Gargs, but he saved a lot into stone form. Pretty impressed.
A player's forces are under attack.
Younker loses the Dreadlord in the south as Neutron relentlessly pushes into his base as a tank now as well. Base is in absolute shambles.
He has 3k gold, which is more than either of these players in the north, funnily, but it's not... Yeah, I mean, what can you do? I mean, he can try to hide, which I guess he might try, and Qwest is moving down again. But,
Yeah, I think the fact that Qwest took this gold mine was smart, obviously, but it doesn't, it's not as impactful as this mine, of course, that Neutron has been mining since the very beginning. Of course, he has a nice gold advantage. Both the top players are essentially broke, so they will need to put attention on the human player. And we see Qwest coming to engage right now and trying to weaken him here.
And that's how you win an ally here in a game like that. If you help someone 2 times, at least for, let's say, 15 minutes, that player's probably not going to attack you. But yeah, eventually we'll see. Is Younker really unsummoning everything? Yeah, he is. Wow. So Younker is out. Younker is unsummoning his last 2 buildings. He could build a new one, but I guess he is not. So he's out.
Oh, wow. We got a new champion tonight, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, maybe a bit premature to unsummon. Can't blame him though. It was a tough game for him, and he accepted his defeat.
Yeah, I guess he could have stayed in game, really. If he, like, I mean, Younker sometimes does that kind of stuff. And yeah, I guess with 3k gold, seeing if, like, usually if a player is just trying to finish you, this 3k will not help you to stay alive. But I think it's a bad call to really unsummon with 3k gold here if you see Qwest helping. Because there's always a risk that another player is defeated quicker than you are, and then one of the others might be relying on you. So I think he could have stayed alive, and level 5 Dreadlord is a nice basis to stay in the game.
I agree completely, and even his main base has 5,000 gold in that gold mine. He had acolytes down there. I think he was frustrated and maybe tilted a little bit, but yeah, he definitely could have stayed in the game. He had a chance.
Yeah, for us, I think it's good because there's more gold. Like, long 4-ways have a tendency to end up in a stalemate where no one's willing to move anymore. Like that, there are more contested mines here, or there is one more contested mine here in the bottom left, and more gold for the other 3 players. So I think from an observer perspective, it can be good for the game to get into the 3-way where players play, where players are more motivated to balance the game, which you usually can't do in a 4-way.
Here's Neutron noticing that someone mined his expo, and of course Qwest doesn't need to be called out on it because Younker's no longer in the game.
Love it. And Neutron is taking the bottom left. Yeah, we all kind of know that Neutron has a talent to tilt people or get tilted himself. It's one of the most entertaining features this wonderful man has. I think it's very important for him to take that mine, right? Because Shave has like 2,000 in the main and still 10k in the north. Plus he's mining at his natural, so... Did he stop mining for quite some time?
You mean Shave in the center here?
Yeah.
Like, that one changed... like, the owner of that center mine changed, I think, at least 4 times, so...
Also the bottom right, there's like 3k in.
I guess he may have stopped, yeah. Once he was on 100, I guess he may have stopped.
Also in the main, there's like 1.8 and Neutron is already mined out.
Yeah. I guess he must have stopped at some point.
Boy.
Yeah.
He was at 100 when he attacked Qwest, so maybe probably there.
Yeah, it can make sense. It's always a bit of a risky call to go 100 on a small map like that, and you really... Yeah, on one hand, you want to do that just to stay in the game, but you lose so much gold, and it's always a difficult call to decide, because obviously you don't want to mine on 100, but at some point you need some gold, even if it's only very little gold, because you don't mine, or because you mine on high upkeep, so it can be a tricky call sometimes, but yeah, he's alive, he made it into 3-way. Shave always complaining that he's barely seeing stuff or barely can't move, barely can move stuff because of his shitty computer and low FPS. So
okay, guys, we need some hardware sponsors for this FFA scene, so the finalists can finally play with more than 15 FPS, please.
don't tell him. He will only tell you how he can afford a computer. He's just too lazy to buy one.
So before we go into this fight, thank you Exact for the sub. Chosen DE, Mass Bash, Steve Boynton has gifted a sub to the map creator, and 4K Pop has subbed as well. Thank you very much. Neutron getting his ass kicked here at this expo.
Mountain King dies.
And now tanks against tanks here.
Yeah, it's a full surround in this gold mine.
I'm not sure why Neutron, maybe he intended to attack Qwest, I guess, but there's no reason really for him to be up to 8 tanks right here, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he lost his hero. I mean, I wouldn't think that would be an intentional thing, but it didn't heal him at all.
And Qwest is on 50. Yeah, Qwest always on 50. If you don't see Qwest out on the map, you always know he's 50. Like, no player is blatantly hoarding more gold. But I mean, Shave knows. I'm not sure if Neutron is that aware. But Neutron is in a very good spot still. 7k gold, mass TP, and still this like this mid mine almost empty. But also he started mining the bottom left, so I'm not sure they really estimate Neutron's gold correctly. I guess they should with that mid mine, but don't know.
Yeah, I would think that Qwest thinks that he has less gold, obviously, because he took this expansion here. But he does have a good amount of gold. I'd say all three players are in a good position right now. And you'll see, you know, throughout the game, and especially in a three-way, there's a lot of diplomacy going on here, right? And if only one player wins the game, that's going to happen. You know, players, you need to choose your fights wisely at times, because you don't want to go into a fight, you know, if you're not going to, you know, not for a purpose, right? Whether it's to gain experience, to gain gold, or a combination of both. If a player becomes too aggressive in a three-way, you know, they may be the first player out just from expending and kind of, you know, expending their resources.
Right, we see Qwest spending a lot of his gold. He has a pendant of mana. And I think you were a little wrong if we look at this DK right here. We got a Cutlass Pipe, we got a Warsong Battle Drums, and we got a Spell Shield. So there is quite some usage.
Yeah, I guess, I mean, yeah, if you see a Spell Shield, I guess you buy it still, no matter what. And also,
and the Pendant of Mana is
Yeah.
just such a good item. Nothing's better than a Pendant of Mana on a Dreadlord. You know, of course, with Brilliance Aura as well. Really going to be strong fighting against the human player with those items.
And we do see a mass CP here against Qwest, who is on 50 supply, obviously, and Neutron with 90 supply, so this could be a very devastating attack. It's also very risky, because once that undead main falls, you are getting teamed for some time. And if you, I wanted to mention that on that gold, estimated gold count, if you see Neutron's main base, you know he has some gold. And now he's going to get some damage off here. Main dead, yeah. I mean, this main base is pretty weak, so it's gonna die quickly.
Gotta love the aggressive move from Neutron. Mass TP, starting the three-way. Nice to see some action here.
Yeah, not losing much, killing some buildings, so good call by Neutron to do that, I think. But also, he needs to be prepared now to get teamed. But as I mentioned, if you look at Neutron's main base with these towers, you know on a map like that, if someone builds these kind of that many towers here, he has some gold. Like, he has at least 5k gold. So they know they have to be very careful of Neutron with mass TP, especially since Shave has no mass TP and no transmute yet. It's very risky here to deal with that mass TP.
Alright, Neutron trying to take out the Haunted Goldmine. It's actually working. So another building here for pretty much free on the cost of a tank, but I think we can't accept that. I can't remember the last time I had so few workshop. Okay, let's count. We have 3. Oh, that's it.
Yeah.
Really not that much.
No, really not many for him. But yeah, I guess no gold here. And new inner fire for Neutron, so I guess next round here, Knight being ready. Would like to see a shade by Qwest, but he's only getting it now, so might be too late here. Yeah, it's too late. Here we go.
Here we go again. He's calling for help. Blizzard and tanks trying to destroy this main base once more. Is it time for the Black Citadel to fall finally? There's no repair, but can he reach? The damage is not really on that main building now. He switches it up. And that's the kill. So no more potions if he didn't have a backup tech, which I don't think he has. Qwest is calling for the kill, calling for help.
And he's supply blocked, so this is a very critical phase for him. And on a small map like that, there's just not much you can do if you don't have the gold, really. So he needs level 6 Dreadlord and needs to win some time here.
He has one building that gives him supply. The Gargs don't do anything, they get just shut down from the tank, so he has to put them on the ground until they're healthy again. And Shave is not coming in for the help at all.
No, he's attacking Neutron though. He will try to force the TP, but will take some time probably. So Qwest down to 2 buildings.
And is this the last Acolyte for Qwest?
No, he has one in the south here, but
Okay.
that's the last one, so he needs to... Oh, but that that Acolyte survives even. Interesting. And
Not about hiding buildings in FFA, as we know.
And Neutron split his army, so he needs a bit of time here until he can mass TP, losing a couple of towers before that. And yeah, Shave here without Blizzard. Yeah, without Blizzard, Shave has 0 damage against these tanks.
Yeah, Alchemist is a fun hero to pick for human, and has good synergy with human because of Acid Bomb. Of course, with siege engines and flying machines, reduction in armor on air units is very good, and transmute is good as well. But you see, when you're under-leveled facing an Archmage, you have such a disadvantage because Neutron is going to have almost unlimited mana because of his Brilliance Aura. And as High-Tac mentioned, Blizzard is so good in Human Mirror against opposing tanks. So it is going to be difficult for Shave to really win any skirmish or any fight for Neutron against Neutron here.
Players' forces are under attack.
So Shave has to team up with Qwest somehow to take out Neutron, I guess, to have a shot.
At least weaken him substantially. Like, Qwest needs some time here, and they just need to get rid of Neutron's gold. I think it's looking very, very good here for Neutron. And they may have underestimated here the strength of mass TP.
Oh, bad TP.
Is under siege.
Yeah, some of his units not getting
this,
TP.
this small map is playing well for Neutron to be aggressive here because he can fight 1-on-2. Because these players don't have big gold banks, they don't have a lot of surface area to hide buildings. It's going to be easier to control, and of course, with mass TP, making it more so.
Players' forces are under attack.
So is there a shade by Qwest now? I don't know. Oh, there's a Zeppelin with 1 Acolyte moving to the bottom left. So if I see that correctly, Shave is the only one mining. It's still 4k in that mine.
Yeah, but even if he gets up to 10k, I'm not sure. I mean, Neutron is on 100 supply, down to 3k, and Shave is on 75, 6k, so they're not that far apart. So I still think Neutron is in a really good spot, even if he gets teamed for a bit longer here. But he needs to finish Qwest very quickly, and something I don't like here by Neutron is that he's not splitting his tanks. He knows that Qwest is most likely on the left side somewhere, so if he splits 2 tanks, it should be almost enough to put heavy pressure on Qwest's last buildings here. And Qwest is rebuilding.
So meanwhile, Shave is in a pretty nice spot here. Even though, as I said, his heroes aren't as good, he's going to have a tough time versus the human. He does have a good amount of gold. He is still mining this gold. So as long as Qwest can survive and continue to weaken the army, you know, Neutron only has a level 3 Paladin, and he only has 3k gold left, right? So yes, he's 100 food, but we're coming into the later stages of the game, seemingly already, which is pretty cool, and a bit of a contrast to some of the larger maps that we saw in the semifinal.
Yeah, and he's getting caught off guard now. Without the tanks, he can't fight these Gargs here. And we see that. He's losing at least 2 Griffins. Nice, and that's level 6 for the Dreadlord. Huge deal if you want to base race someone. Oh, and he missed the MK. MK is staying home here.
Dead.
Mass TPing back, but not in time. And there goes the MK.
And Shave is in Neutron's base.
Oh wow. That
Huge mistake for Neutron.
that team is working out better than expected. Huge gold loss, of course, with that MK revive down the road.
Yeah, it seemed a bit overwhelmed here for a second, getting attacked here with these tanks. It's obviously not easy to keep all these tanks in range for that mass TP, so on a map like that, if you're moving. So that
Here's
was
a little good, sorry not to interrupt you, but just to point out some good Qwest manipulation there. Qwest just killed 2 Griffins, 2 tanks, and his Mountain King. Huge hit to Neutron. And what does Qwest say in the chat? TT, as if he's crying, as if something bad just happened to him. That's smart manipulation there.
And oh, Neutron canceling the MK revive here. Although Altar got not killed, so that will delay the MK revive for quite some time, unless he's planning to Tavern the MK, which I don't think he should, but we'll see. I mean, he seems to go for it.
Yeah, and you don't have to cancel a hero in an altar before it's destroyed. I'm not sure if maybe that's what he was thinking.
Oh, the Paladin! Oh, that was really close.
He gets him back at the tavern.
Yeah.
For some reason, he wanted him back real quick.
Oh, might get caught here. Uh-oh.
Oh, yeah. Okay, he takes a turn.
And MK level 5 now for Shave, which is huge deal. And yeah, the last thing Neutron wants here is to feed Shave up to Transmute, which would be devastating for him on a map like this.
Yeah, it's pretty much endless gold income. I can totally see why that's very OP here as well. Tank finds the 12 o'clock. Puts that under pressure, so Shave has to move back a little. Taking care of this.
Yeah, Neutron taverned the Mountain King. As you said, didn't need to do that. Could have just kept in the altar.
And Neutron is down to 2.4k gold. I do think at some point they may piece here, at least Qwest. I mean, Qwest needs to stay under the radar. Either of these humans, very dangerous for him. Although, I think Shave is a bit... I don't think Shave can easily fight Qwest here against these heroes. Unless you get level 6 MK. I think it's difficult for Shave. But Shave's main base is not that weak either. He has some towers. Especially these cannon towers, very valuable against tanks. So
while Qwest had his main base destroyed, you guys can see that somewhat under the radar, his hero levels are absolutely dominating compared to these other humans. The Undead has 666 heroes. Both the humans paladins are only level 3. Qwest can dominate and crush either of these humans. We'll see if it comes down to a base race. I actually like Qwest's spot here with a pretty good amount of gold, some acolytes, and 666 heroes.
yeah,
I think he also has the best inventory. Sorry, didn't want to cut you off.
No worries. I totally agree. I think Qwest now in a good spot. I mean, their best chance probably at some point will be to base race him. And once these tanks are gone and there's no more gold, it can get, even with mass TP, it can get very difficult to base race a, let's say, 777 undead or even 666 already. Not easy. So we'll make it dicey here for the others at some point. And yeah, it's always nice to see comebacks. So we'll see. And yeah, next attack here by Shave.
Shave is parking 6 breakers in his base. Is that on purpose or did he lost track?
No, I guess he lost track. I don't know.
Quite a big part of his army actually. But alright. Lucky for Neutron then again. I guess.
And now I think Shave should, just to keep peace with Qwest, I think Shave should consider to get this expo now with the last 1.5k to Qwest. I think that could be a smart call. Could also be a stupid one. I don't know. But it's just annoying. Like Qwest is, as we see, Qwest is demanding that gold mine. And don't really want to deal with that.
Paladin got a second spell shield on him as well. On the cost of 1 Griffin once again.
MK getting closer to level 6 here.
Yeah, the level 4 Paladin, pretty big level up. Almost level 3 Billion Sword leveled up as well.
Wow, and I'm not
the
sure.
Mountain King.
Yeah, I'm not sure why he bolted the Paladin and not the MK. But there's slow anyway. Is there slow? No, there's no slow.
He can staff the Mountain King.
Invo potion. Didn't use the staff. Wants to keep him here.
Bit
It's
of a
whole
waste
life, but
here.
mana's rare.
Yeah, that's a downside. Like, he really... Does he have the Katka's pipe? No, but there is one for sale now. Oh, there was one for sale 1 second ago. Now it's gone. He has 2 spell shields on that Paladin, though. Interesting.
A player's forces are under attack.
Gives a spell shield to the Mountain King. He does definitely need that Khadgar's pipe. Again, even if he gets Transmute, he doesn't have Brilliance Aura, there's no mana fountains on this map, and there's no Khadgar's pipe. So, you know, Transmute can only be so effective.
Qwest is following Shave's orders. Oh, a little bit of free damage.
Seems a bit undecided here. He could have gone for that MK, I guess. But not doing so.
A town is under siege.
So while he's getting attacked, Neutron is taking out the last gold mine, really. 600 still in, so it's not that bad, I guess. All the other gold mines that are still on the map are pretty much mined out.
And we see right here, that's like the mass TP was nice for us, like this instant mass TP in Shave's main, but that's something, this aggressive style with mass TP with human always gets you teamed. It's like if you're the first player to kill an entire main base, the other 2 players will go on you. So that's a reason why sometimes it can be the better call to try to weaken the player first and not like if a main base is not much and like doesn't have much value if that player has 0 gold. So it can be better sometimes to just try to kill units instead of just trying to kill an entire main base. So
All right, this could be a critical sequence here.
Both still teaming up on Neutron.
Ooh,
Taking
and-
care of the castle. Here we have another mass TP. Sacrificing his base quite a bit to just completely take out Qwest.
yeah, Neutron
Looks
needs to piece with Qwest here, I think, at some point.
Yeah, Qwest can fight this army here. It was a nice move from Neutron. When you're getting teamed in your main, if you mass TP and try to get someone to TP back, of course that's going to be effective. We'll see if they continue to fight or engage here.
Yeah, but do you think it's fair? It's a good call by Neutron? I think it's a bad call. He's losing his main base now, and he's losing his entire army. So I'm not sure that's a good call. I think he should piece with Qwest here. It's bad for both of them.
Might be.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. Qwest calling good game, of course. He's not close to being defeated.
His army's still
Will
looking
sleep?
pretty powerful.
He could have slept that AM, but he's not doing so.
A player's forces are
And yeah,
under
Neutron
attack.
is trying to man up against Qwest, and I'm not sure that's going to work out here.
So looking from each of these players' perspectives here, Neutron, I think a bit of inexperience is being shown in this game. His aggression is not exactly playing out maybe how he thought it would. He's in a tough spot here. Still has good hero levels, not much of a base. Not the best spot. From Qwest, you know, obviously Qwest has great hero levels and a good free-for-all sense. He's in a very good spot here. From Shave, as you guys can see, he still has 6k gold. If I was Shave right now, I would be having a couple flying machines fly around the map and at least trying to scout out where these necropolises are if he doesn't know yet. If Neutron is eliminated, and there's a chance that Neutron maybe will leave a little bit prematurely as well, it's up to Shave to go and just eliminate Qwest buildings. So I would definitely be scouting these out if he hasn't already.
I think Qwest is the only one with a Zeppelin, if I saw that right, on the 9 o'clock position. I scouted a little bit across the map and I haven't seen anything. Neutron is smart as well.
Yeah, now Shave is hiding his units here in the top right, which also, as with many things in FFA, can be good, can be bad. Like it can if a player scouts that you are hiding an army, and in this case it might be easy to scout because they know he has an army that he hasn't lost. It can easily be turned against you because hiding armies is usually a sign of someone just trying to sneak to a victory. So you will try to weaken him, and you tend to not trust the player that tried to hide an army 1 minute earlier. So I'm not quite sure why he's doing that in this situation, but I guess he just wants to like Shave was attacking Neutron for very long now, so he just wants to scout and maybe even get this expansion back here. But there's not much gold left, I think, just 1k. Only 600, okay. Yeah.
Seems like everyone thinks he's dead or is manipulating a little.
Yeah, Qwest is... I think maybe Neutron is underestimating Shave here. Neutron was just asking, at least a minute ago, was asking Shave to team against Qwest, while I think he needs to be careful of Shave too. And we'll see. Yeah, Shave will only be trolling here, and Qwest is trying to just stay alive, and he's very smart in these situations. So would never trust Qwest here. I would trust Neutron for sure. I think he plays.
I would never trust Neutron. Knowing this guy and having met him 3 times, never ever.
But he plays pretty straight up. Just, I mean, if you look at his playstyle here, he's not chatting that much, but he's chatting, and I think he's playing it very obvious. So it's pretty easy to know what he's up to.
I'm not sure after the semi-final, in my personal experience, if I would trust Neutron with how he was.
I mean, you
chatting
never
and
attacked him.
manipulating
You could have
last
just You could have just scouted his 15 towers, and you would have known that it's time to team that human. But I keep out of that discussion, and also I'm not an undead player, so I don't know. I will always.
No doubt about it.
I always team if I see a human with towers MSTP, it's time to get rid of the towers at least. Like with towers MSTP, there's just no way you can base race a human. But if a human has no towers, it's much easier. So that's always something I will get rid of towers. Humans are not allowed to have towers.
Yeah, I definitely wish we would have teamed the human player, but he was pretty heavy into manipulating and lying about his gold and things like that last game. I guess is my point, to maybe not necessarily trust his word here.
Yeah, now they're teaming Qwest here. Interesting call.
Wow.
By...
Yeah, Shave is loving this.
It's pretty good for him. I guess he can feel kind of confident with 6k to team out. Ooh, and that DK dies.
And that's all his auras as well. Quest down to 800. He has to go for the tavern. He has no altar anymore.
Must have been a mistake not to TP to this Necropolis, huh?
Yeah, maybe he was hesitant to give up like these 5 buildings here.
Oh, Neutron got it as well.
He's gonna be food block, guys. Can't revive the Death Knight.
Oh, wow, he is. Yeah.
Yeah. But this is... Again, this is... I think not that bad for Shave here. He has 6 gold.
Yeah, Shave loved it.
Yeah, he's the only one with a main base. I mentioned already in that last game, if you're the only player with a main base, and if you have some gold, and if your hero levels are somewhat okay, it's usually a good spot to be in. And they have never teamed Shave to this point, although he had one of this mid expos, so they should know that Shave has some gold. And I think Qwest was trying to convince Neutron to team Shave.
Yeah, I mean, he called him out on his lie pretty much immediately. After Shave said, hey, I only have breakers. He's like, oh, bullshit, mate, you're hiding. And Neutron, I don't know, maybe didn't read it or didn't believe it, or... I don't know. But he fell for it.
Players' forces are under attack.
Yeah, but now Shave is attacking Neutron here. And, I mean, that's a good... I don't know, it's tricky here, because... I also think Shave could just stay under the radar and hope for Neutron to defeat Qwest. And Qwest will try to weaken Neutron on the way. But yeah, really no risk here, and that spell shield is so good.
Ultimate has no spell shield though. Invoke potion and TP should keep him safe. So Qwest has some time to rebuild a little.
Yep, he's getting the Death Knight back up here. Of course, he had to sell some items to do so. But he's still in a fine spot. Hopefully that's enough attention on him where he sees that the 2 human players will go at it and Qwest will still have an opportunity at the end. But to Hightech's point, I mean, Shave still has 6k gold and a full main base. So he can base race, he should be scouting these buildings.
Yeah, Qwest is, as I mentioned, like Qwest is still weakening Neutron here. He has no reason to stop. Neutron never gave him a reason to stop really. So Qwest is just happily weakening Neutron here. And just needs to hope that at some point Neutron will find a heart and pieces with him. And
He can
Neutron...
kill the Paladin, can't he?
Oh yeah, this... he has a staff... No. There's a
No,
staff
he
of
doesn't.
silence. No, but a staff of silence, so he could silence the MKs. Because he can get away.
But he was stuck at this town hall for whatever reason. He got staffed there, so the breakers could surround him, but it was night, it was hard to see.
Yeah, it's his
Didn't
next
go.
town hall, so he has no castle anymore, so getting staffed to the next one.
Okay.
If you have no main building that is higher teched than any other, it will always get staffed to the next building. Same with double click TP and with Knight Elf staff.
Qwest seems to be a little angry with Neutron here.
Yeah, and I can't blame him. Then again, the Qwest also in a game, I mean, sometimes he will pretend to be emotional, but in this case, I can imagine he's really angry at a Neutron.
6 loss, huh?
Yeah. I mean, Shave has thrown much worse from much better positions. He has thrown... What was that? I think in an in-house game recently with, I think, 25k gold against 2 players with 1k. and for some reason he played very stupidly and he lost the game. But yeah, it's not looking bad for him here.
Right, human mirror once again. Focus fire on this alchemist, but there's an invo potion. Acid bomb once more. Anti-air is limited though, but on the other side, the griffins can't really attack the army, only the heroes. And twice the supply, obviously, for Shave. So is there something falling here, is the question.
Neutron
Lot of
really
heal.
needs MK level 6. Like, that would be a huge difference maker here against Shave.
Oh, he has boots again. Holy Light saving the alchemist, but oh boy, rather die than level 6, I guess. Holy Light once more trying to get out, stabs him, but that could be the paladin just dying.
Oh yeah, that pellet. Oh wow.
No!
Oh.
Stab him.
But now the Archmage surrounded.
Mass teleport, there's no TP, and he saves everything. So
Nice
far.
micro there from Neutron. Use the correct staff on the correct hero, and the stun before mass TP to save all 3 heroes. Could have been a disaster.
And Neutron is getting the situation completely wrong. He's writing all the time to Shave that he needs to be careful of Qwest, while
Are under attack.
he needs to realize that that Shave is the one being in the dominant spot here. So he's not really. I don't think he's really getting the situation here correctly. I mean, he's down to 7 buildings or something. Soon he will be down to 1, and
Maybe that's the lack of experience in FFA competition.
And Qwest is in an okay spot still. He still has an Acolyte. He still has gold for Necropolis. To the players, they don't see a Death Knight. But of course, we see a Death Knight in the Zeppelin with his Acolyte there. If the human players can weaken each other enough,
Is under siege.
you know, Qwest still has a chance here. But it's definitely looking like, you know, Shave's in a good position right now.
yeah, and it's at some point it will be for Neutron. With despite mass TP, you can't really leave your buildings anymore. So it's getting the longer he waits, the better it will get for Shave here. And yeah, Neutron is now across the map from Shave's main base. The main base he needs to weaken, and I don't really see Qwest being in a good spot. I think he has too many buildings to survive against Shave. I mean, I don't know, but I don't really see Qwest winning this year. He should, in my eyes, sell some of these items.
Forces are
I
under
think
attack.
Warsong Battle Drum's pretty useless if you only have 1 unit and 3 heroes. So he should, I think, sell at least 3 of these items just to get gold for 2 or 3 Necropolises.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. He does have a number of gargoyles here, but War Drums isn't going to make too much of a difference there. Interesting enough, he is asking Neutron for peace, I think correctly, to try to weaken some of Shave's base. They haven't done that yet. Shave has gone under the radar
Players' forces are
thus
under
far.
attack.
We'll see if they're going to coordinate to weaken Shave's base a little bit.
Doesn't feel like it. Okay.
Yeah,
Relax again.
I have pretty low FPS too. Like the first game I ever have that low FPS, and I'm not sure why that's the case. But I'm not sure. Maybe there was a hidden patch already.
I'm fine. So far, at least. Yeah, the breaker transition seems pretty smart. What can be done with that? They can't be bolted, they can't be clapped, they can't be carrion swarmed. They're not that strong, but...
Yeah, I think it's a good call. With these human heroes, it's nice to transition to them. You don't have a brilliance aura, so you need to make sure that undead heroes maybe lose some of the mana. So you don't have... That was my Google now. So you don't... yeah, you don't face these undead heroes for too long. But now, yeah, we see there's just no way Qwest can stop these spellbreakers here.
He hasn't dropped an Infernal yet. I would think that he'd be using the Infernal, obviously now, but also to try to destroy some proxy buildings of the Teal Human.
spell shield on both sides once again. All three armies here now. Who's gonna team on whom?
Yeah, I think that's maybe a mistake here by Shave to attack Qwest. I think he should have tried to kill Neutron first. Neutron was so passive here in the south, and now they have some time, and Shave has no masterpiece, so Shave needs to walk across the map now. So I think he should have maybe tried to weaken Neutron a bit more to force Neutron to stay at his last building. But we'll see. I still think Qwest here with 2 buildings. Not in a great spot. And
Yeah, this is looking like possibly a pretty easy win for Shave, flying under the radar. I would like to see him maybe take some tanks and move them up to these buildings, force a mass teleport, and then after the mass teleport, possibly engage to try to destroy Qwest.
yeah, and he's walking across the map again, but he will meet at least Neutron here.
Is there any real threat? Is the cooldown off for our spell shield? Yeah.
Yeah, it's I think 30 seconds or 45 seconds or something.
Town is under siege.
Yeah, nuking these heroes is an issue, and he's doing exactly what you say. 2 tanks on the building, mass teleport, so... Oh boy, Qwest is alone against him, almost getting his DK surrounded. And Qwest must be like, what the fuck is happening? Why are you just leaving me?
Yeah, and Shave is killing this, almost killing this last Griffin Aviary, but he can afford that.
He has to drop the Infernal now to just create some space, and it's a 3-minute cooldown now.
I think Qwest should consider to use his Gargs now. They're pretty okay against these spellbreakers.
A player's forces are
so
under attack.
and now yeah, Neutron scouted the Gargs, so he knows, yeah, exactly. Now he knows that there are Gargs left.
Newton still doesn't believe that there's a hidden army for Shave, right?
And I mean, he must know. He saw these Griffins earlier and the Dragonhawks, and he knows that, or he must know that no one ever killed them. So
I don't know.
I think he had a gyro here at the top, so I think he knows, but I'm not sure. And Shave trying to convince Qwest, like better safe than sorry, trying to convince Qwest to peace here. Obviously, there's no reason to do so. So Qwest will not agree to a peace with Neutron. And both, yeah, that's also an issue sometimes. If 2 players that peace are both that low on gold, they can be forced to fight over, in some cases, fight over a stupid amount of gold, like 600 gold, 500 gold.
Players' forces are under attack.
Not really worth fighting over.
How to maneuver now. Everything is attacking allies a little. Is there more tanks coming for Neutron? Yep. Not poking into the base yet. Is there anything they can take out together? Just to force a little gold out of Shade?
They need to try to kill the Paladin, I guess, but it's not easy. And the spell shield is so annoying here.
Yeah. Stabs everywhere. So no healing on the human anymore. Is there another stab from
Ooh,
the Mountain King?
the Alchemist forced to TP here. But yeah, Archmage okay. But now the MK... Yeah.
So I wonder at this point, the human player should probably bring his air units, right? I mean, at this point, they're going to be teaming him. I think that's been decided. No need to hide his army. Specifically, that Dragonhawk would be huge to kill this one Frostworm from the undead player.
And Chafe is calling out Neutron. Like, this is very obvious to have 2 tanks here close to Quest's last 2 buildings. That's not going unscouted. And you need to be very careful in FFA with good players. If, like, all these are signs of someone potentially trying to take you out, backstab you. So you can't just leave 2 tanks close to these buildings. So we see Qwest here forcing these 2 tanks back.
I'm pretty much admitting, oh yeah, fuck, this doesn't really work.
And this is all great time for Shave here, who can... I think he could even try to use his gold, go 100 and just try to finish it. He just saw that they have a very hard time teaming him. And he could use that momentum now of them discussing stuff to just go 100, try to finish Neutron. And... yeah, but I guess he plays it safely and... he's going to meet Neutron here in the center.
Alright, Storm on the Archmage. There's another invul. This TP should be safe. Okay, use the Holy Light. Go shield again. Stormbolt again. Damage still not enough. So needs a staff. That's a cooldown forced.
I think if I was Shave, I would still pick up the Khadgar's pipe, even though it's expensive.
Yeah, he did.
And he did, yep.
Even better now.
Yeah, that was his biggest mistake in some of these recent games with this hero combo, that he didn't pick up the Khadgar's pipe. It's so worth it. You run out of mana quickly with these heroes.
Qwest is getting some money back in a bit. But still so broke. So blocked.
I personally think they just... Neutron is... or Qwest needs to invest too much time into convincing Neutron to do something. So that's nice time for Shave right now. Like, they should just focus, not focus on chatting, but just team that human main base for at least 5 minutes right now. That's, I think, their only chance really, to put pressure on that human main base. Because we see right now, Neutron is going to lose more buildings here, potentially.
Not the last ones, but the bottom right pretty much completely. Mass teleport to the south. Mountain King got level 6 finally. Not willing to use the ult so far. Spell shield again. Where's it going? Well, that takes forever.
So did Shave skill Healing Spray with its Alchemist? Because I haven't seen Healing Spray or... oh, there it is. Okay.
Yeah. I was about to say yes, but I've only seen it once, I think.
Divine Shield dodges the next Stormbolt. Oh, Archmage in trouble. Staff out again.
So it's easy to say when we see the players' gold counts, but it would be nice to see Shave build, you know, Griffins and maybe bring his air army, because Neutron is mass TPing to these buildings when he's coming with just breakers, so he could potentially get him to mass TP and then come in with, you know, 80 to 100 food, including a bunch of Griffins, and kill Neutron right there. And I believe that if Neutron lost one of his main heroes, he may be apt to just GG and leave the game. So that may be a winning move for Shave right now.
Yeah, and Qwest tries to convince him here to attack the human main base. But I think Qwest also could go on his own right now. Just send an Infernal over and over. And at least, I mean, has he skilled Death and Decay? I guess he might have, right? If he has Death and Decay, maybe he can get off some damage here. I mean, at least he can force off his staff of that MK. So,
yeah, he got that.
Okay, so... this human base is untouched. I think he has lost like one building here.
Been pretty good guess, but more and more buildings of his are falling.
Yeah, not often do you see a three-way like this where one player's main is just basically untouched. And I think Neutron is just fearing Qwest too much, obviously.
And Death and Decay now here, so this is a nice Death and Decay, but instant TP, almost. And, ooh, not coiling. Potentially a mistake here. Not coiling the Lich, but yeah, he can get away here.
Tried to stun Carrying Swarm, but there's another invul.
That was pretty
Or
close.
Divine Shield, yeah, that was. And the Paladin falls, it's quite the big deal. Qwest getting the Dreadlocks around it now.
There's no
TP,
staff,
yep.
but only Divine Shield level 1, right? Or not? No, he has Devotion level 1, so he has Divine Shield level 1 only, so it's really not that long.
And here comes Neutron with the Mountain King.
Nice opportunity here to maybe kill something, but Paladin full mana, so maybe you should focus the Paladin now. I guess.
So hard to decide. There's a lot of healing. There's a lot of staffs. There's also spell shields.
Players'
Yeah.
forces are under attack.
Yeah, that spell shield is super annoying to deal with. I hate this sound. Like if you try to entangle something and it's like this ping of that spell shield, like the most annoying thing ever.
Is under siege.
So we got 6 heroes now. 5 of them can nuke. Can they do something? Oh, 4 of them can nuke.
This is what, yeah, this is, I guess, the best shot, their best shot to finally deal some damage to this base. So, Shave, as Seksi said, a bit too careful with his hidden army. I think he had a chance to finish the game like 5-10 minutes ago. And now it's, yeah, he needs to withstand some of this teaming here. He could still try to go for the offense to push someone back, but easier said than done. This main base dies very quickly still if you let 6 heroes in your... if you allow these 6 heroes to team you.
At this point, I wonder if Shay forgot about his air army.
I
Not
don't
bringing
think
it
so.
in.
He will, yeah.
A lot of nuke, coil as well. Holy Light against it. There's still a healed scroll as well, and the staff out once more.
But he has nothing to dispel, has he? Can you dispel with Spellbreakers? No, right? You can only with priests, yeah.
Definitely needs to bring in these air units here. Going to be terrible if he loses his heroes, loses his altar.
Okay, Infernal is not doing too much here. Neutron, one of his heroes is out as well. Qwest diving deep. He can't get that Paladin, man. It's like 10,000s of damage raining on this Pally, but he opens the bubble and then he's all safe. For Casper,
and Divine Shield?
but he's surrounded, so how can he get out? There is a staff in 10. Invo potion pop. Invo potion needs to pop this.
Wow, Paladin
Oh,
dies.
below, and there's finally an execution on the Paladin, so he gets what he wanted.
And Master P,
Upgrade
but
out as well.
But Qwest
Teleport everywhere.
may get that MK now. That MK is toast.
Guys, Jade has no altar. He has no altar.
And a supply block. Ah no, he was supply blocked. He's not anymore.
What the fuck?
So this could, yeah, this is, if you take too long and people can coordinate the teaming, it's always devastating to have these 6 heroes against you if they have enough time and you don't have gold to pump units.
Forces are under
But yeah, I totally agree with Seksi. In this case, I think he should have used his units earlier. He wouldn't have lost his hero here, I believe.
Kills the shade. Alright. So, Mana Aura is running for Qwest, who's still hanging around to check what Shape is doing now.
Yeah, I think they should go again here. These towers need to go, and obviously Shave is getting an altar back, but it will take some time until this Paladin returns. And now, yeah, Qwest is going in here, I guess.
Oh, and the guard confirms the air. Not following him.
And something people asked in the Twitch chat, at least last week, a lot, like, what's the prize money? Just to mention that again, that there is no prize money on FML, but the Hall of Fame, to get into the Hall of Fame of FML is probably more worth to many of these players than like 500 euros, so way more probably. So prize money usually not good to make FFA matches better, because players already are trying really hard. So that's why we usually, out of tradition, we don't have a prize pool to FML, but just single cups.
Who's the record holder? Who's like the most wins?
Rectify won 4 seasons. One under the Smurf Dark Flame Master, and yeah, he promised to cast some of the matches in that cup that we're planning in June, and
Ooh, sweet.
he's a great caster. So I think if he doesn't forget his promise, he would surely be a nice one to invite for an hour or two. I guess that would be a delight for your viewers. He's pretty fun.
Yeah, I hope we get time to do that June. Looking hot so far. So they continue teaming up. And Shape is trying to save his air army, so he didn't forget about it. Eventually, maybe take out some units with it, some buildings with it.
And Paladin is not even halfway revived, so Shave needs to decide now, does he want to try to defend this attack, risking another hero loss, or is he just trying to stay back and not lose a hero? He's moving out, so...
Town is
These
under
players are not punishing Shave right now. Not using his air army, doesn't have Paladin.
And they could...
He has enough time now to revive here.
I'm not sure why... What's Neutron doing? Ah, there is... Oh, there's the air army here. Yeah, I totally missed that. Shave
So
is
he has no
attack-
shackles, so it's only Stormbolt, a couple of attacks.
And
The player's forces are under attack.
it's now, like...
Okay, we go for this Mountain King now. There's the Storm.
And it's so
DK
easy
might be
for
in
this...
trouble.
So easy to die for these human heroes against... Yeah. Forced to TP. But now the coil...
He's gonna go in and try to snipe this alchemist here. Paladin's about to come out, guys.
Oh, so close. Where's the coil? There we go. Alchemist dies. DK has to be careful. Still level 7 on the Dreadlord.
And Paladin, like 2 seconds too late, 4 seconds too late to to Holy Knight. So
He's no Gandalf, man.
yeah,
A
So I
player's
think
forces
Shave
are
is
under
just overthinking what he needs to be doing here. Not spending his gold, not using his air army.
I mean he uses it, but he's losing it now. So I guess it's bad.
Oh,
Uh-oh.
the guard can still be shackled.
Yeah, but not for
these
long.
ones.
Oh, shit. Okay. Not too many of them.
I mean, they both know, like, Neutron already knew that there were 7 Gargs, so I think it's time to stop. I think Qwest should use them.
player's forces
It's not worth getting teamed over 7 Gargs. If you have, like, 100 supply, maybe you don't want to show it early, or you don't want to use it early. Wow, backstab here. By Qwest?
Yeah, I mean, well, they called him out in chat. If you saw that, Neutron agreed. He said he saw the mass garbs. Interesting that Qwest would attack him, but
I guess...
it hurt him to have those garbs be revealed, like you said. I mean, Shave is still the threat, right? But after how the game's been played, maybe Neutron doesn't think so anymore.
And I don't really think I would... I think it would be better for Qwest here, even like if you say, okay, I kill my own Gargs in front of you. Ooh, that was close.
Oh, sleep on the Mass TP. Has to go for the real one. There's another stab. Mountain King should be safe. Archmage TP's out. Neutron survives.
And that's a costly TP here. I think it would have been better for Qwest even to kill off, say, okay, sorry, I hit my Gargs, I'm killing them myself, if that makes you happy. I think that would have been a better call here than backstabbing Neutron. Because if once you, like now, Neutron will, I don't think Neutron will peace quickly again. But maybe he does. He says, Qwest, go finish him. Yeah, so maybe he does. And Qwest piecing here with Shave. Risky.
A town is under siege.
So I think Qwest must think that Shave really doesn't have gold, and his army with his hero levels being 777, and again with Shave's heroes only being 554, maybe he thinks he can stop tanks on his remaining buildings or win with a Necropolis and selling items around the map. Eventually you have to go for it, right? With Undead, you can't just sit and wait for your buildings to be eliminated. So it's interesting the choices that he's making now. We'll see the effect that those have.
Yeah. Bit too early in my eyes, with Shave still having that many buildings. I think risky, very risky call here. And against a player like Neutron, who is most likely going to seek revenge. Like, Neutron did not seem to be a super opportunistic player. And usually against an extremely opportunistic player, like myself, you can attack and I will peace with you 10 seconds after if it's like best for me. But Neutron, I don't believe will peace quickly here.
To your point, he's saying he's going to suicide Qwest right now.
Yeah.
Let's see. I don't know if he knows about this. I don't think Neutron knows about that.
Ooh,
base down
the
there.
shade. That's going to be this Paladin. He should split his heroes against... Ooh. Yeah.
That's a Paladin gone, and that's Mass Teleport gone as well.
A town is
Can't help
under
against
siege.
Qwest anymore.
Yeah, so we do see Qwest losing his Hall of the Dead here, while he is killing the barracks of Neutron, and Neutron will be revealed soon. So Neutron is really
You can say fucked on this broadcast.
yeah. I mean, I was reading his chat and I think-
Uh-oh.
Dreadlord,
Don't TP on the Dreadlord.
damage
And both
drained
pop
on.
up fast.
Town is under siege.
Well done, but he kind of saves him. But the breakers, there's no solution against the breakers. Another coil might. Oh my god, the damage on the Mountain King now, just swifting it around. Who's gonna die first? MK gets out, and the Dreadlord explodes into 1,000 bats.
That was a big moment for the Teal Human there. Well played.
Yeah, and I guess that might be it here. Neutron down to just 4 buildings, has no worker here from what I see. And so he's out and he's on a suicide mission here. So this backstab was too early by Qwest and maybe a bit too impulsive. So this is...
Yeah, it's got to be over, guys, right? Both Neutron and Qwest are down a hero. They don't have any Harley buildings, and
A player's
Qwest
forces
did not make
are
a friend
under
of Neutron, who claims that you are not going to win an FML final. Looks like it's over, guys.
Because you're too stupid is the reasoning for that. So Neutron was absolutely right. Oh, mass teleport cancelled again. Is there even a TP? No, that's not.
I mean, you can still, like, I think in usually with other players, maybe, this is not a lost game for other players in Neutron's position, I think. Like, you have 4 buildings, you can still man up, you can still piece. It's very unlikely that you win without a worker, but you still have a chance. Like, he has strong heroes, and we have seen, as we saw in that second Samurai, you can easily win with 1 building if you protect them well. And he even has this 1 farm here next to the lab, so... He has a chance, but he needs to piece now. And I just think Shave takes too long for this decision making here. I mean, it's easier to say from an ops perspective, but I think he should just try to spend maybe a bit more gold just to finish it a bit quicker here. But maybe he wants to save some gold to revive his heroes. And
He
yeah.
only has 15 FPS, right? So every
Yeah.
decision takes a little longer. That
Yes.
adds up.
This is Qwest's last building, guys.
This looks like the end. No peasant anymore. Nowhere, right?
Right here. He can make it.
Oh,
Nope, he couldn't make it.
Nope. Okay, Qwest is gone. Neutron's farm's still up, but he knows where it is. And can just do it. Qwest is out.
And finally, Shave, signing up to an FML season after abandoning FML, at least the official seasons for some seasons. He's back and he even skipped round 4, and yet he managed to win this final pretty convincingly. A couple of tiny mistakes, but eventually he utilized Neutron's weakness maybe in this situation to weaken Qwest a bit too early, and then now being pretty silent. I mean, very comfortable spot here for him.
Yeah, I'd say the most, probably the most unlikeliest of winners in this game, but made some good moves at the end and was smart and really was overlooked, I think, from the other players, but he did what he needed to do to win, and congratulations to Shave on his first FML victory.
Congratulations, yeah, nice game. Shall we try to get him on? If
Yes,
he can get his
please.
microphone to work, which is not always the case. Let's try.
Yeah, you got the group crown. You can just drag him in. We get the champion on the line if it does work.
Let's see.
So from Germany, defeating Qwest, Neutron, and Younker, first time FML champion is Shave. How nice with 15 FPS.
Yeah, maybe he needs to.
He has to put that champagne bottle to the side.
Yeah, probably. He writes me. He needs a second for his micro.
Yeah, sure. No worries at all.
Yeah, so this was a very. I think it was a fun game. I was a bit. I wish it was a bit more open in the end and not so. It's always bad to see suicides because it's boring. It's too it's expectable. or yeah, it kind of leads to one-sided situations. But still, for the most part, it was a very open and exciting game, and we saw a bit of a smaller map and more quick game than on some of the previous matches, and only lasting 1 hour 22. Could have lasted, or could have been over a bit quicker even on a map like that with that little gold. So I enjoyed it.
I, for once, was very entertained by the suicide. Neutron saying you're not winning because you're too stupid was absolutely wonderful and such a Neutron thing to do. I mean, it's kind of nice that they show their personality in FFA as well. Side just being Side, the nicest guy ever, and Neutron being Neutron, kind of like the opposite. So that's nice. That's a cool flavor to me as a one-on-one person going into the FFA and seeing that. But
Yeah.
also kind of cool that the one-on-one guy didn't win, to be honest. Not that I have anything against Neutron, but it would be quite a shame if he starts to pick up FFA and just wins the entire thing. I'm kind of glad that an FFA dude wins FFA. That's how it's supposed to be.
For sure. To some degree, I agree. I think he would have deserved it. I'm just trying to get Shave into this voice chat again. He is in the chat, but let me quickly...
Yeah, you can just like accept call or join call or something. That
He
should
can?
be- Yeah. Once you're added, should be easily doable.
Yeah, he may be trying to configure his microphone.
Yeah, he writes...
Yeah, it's interesting in free for all how they're gonna have stylistic, matchups, but also personalities will clash and match up a certain way, right? Kind of to your point of Neutron and Qwest and just how the game played out. And the other point that I want to recognize is that, in free for all, anybody can win, right? Even the best FML players of all time, their win rates are close to maybe 40%, right? And so it gives hope that anybody can win, right? And if you're smart and you make the right decisions, in addition to having the skill as far as micro and macro, you really do have to put everything together on the highest level. And it's interesting to see, obviously that Shave won this game because of a number of factors.
For sure, and he joined the call. Is he able to use his microphone? Yeah, that's a question.
Moin Moin, can you hear me?
Moin moin, champ, how you feeling?
Oh boy. That was, I must admit, I feel super dirty for manipulating so much. It's usually not my playstyle, but I want to have a chance. They are all very good in micro. I will have a very passive and manip my ass off and lie as much as I can to have a shot at winning this.
Yeah, congrats. How does it feel? Like finally, after all these years.
It feels, must admit, I didn't expect it, but it is great because I've often been mocked by NoX mostly for not winning FML while he did, and now he can't do that anymore. So yeah, I'm happy about that. That's like, I must say, like, wow. I joined the season. I didn't play the last seasons, and I wanted to play relaxed in the first round. It was like, I didn't think of much. I just played my style. I didn't prepare creep routes mostly. But like before this final, I was like super nervous. I nearly didn't sleep last night. Was awake in the night saying, okay, maybe I can switch this and this and this in my creep route because yesterday I was planning to play Orc today. Then I was like, no, human is probably Orc is more fun for me, but human is my better winning race, especially in FML. It's just base race, and Alchemist to level 6 transmute is so great in the late game, especially on a map with low gold. So it was like a last minute change. Like I woke up today and I was like, okay, I'm gonna play human. I had to prepare a completely new creep route, a couple of when I got home from work, and boy was I nervous. I really didn't expect it, but yeah, I'm just happy now, and yeah, most importantly, Nox can't make fun of me anymore. That's rank 1 point, yes.
Hey, Shave, I want to say congratulations, man. I'm happy to see you win this game here. Let me ask you, just from a strategic standpoint, it seemed like you were withholding using your air units and using the rest of your gold for some time. Were you a little bit nervous that the other players had gold? Were you trying to conceal your strength? It was a bit of a risk that may have come back to bite you. Just curious on your strategy there.
My biggest point was when it was like, I don't know, 4 Griffs, 2 Hawks or something, and it was at a game stage where West had like already 666 heroes or something. Simply don't have the FPS currently to micro these units against these heroes. I was like, okay, if I'm gonna use this, they're gonna die in like 2 to 3 seconds anyway. I better put them away, and maybe in late game they might come in handy. Also, of course, I wanted to appear a little bit weaker than I was, and Breaker luckily solved for me because you can't nuke those. So, and what I really noticed this game is as smaller the army gets, as better my micro gets, like in terms of FPS. I'm able to control way more. And usually, even if I have a lot of gold, I try to avoid 100 food simply because my PC won't let me micro these. So it was a little bit okay. If I use them now, they're just gonna die. I will save them for later on. They have a purpose. I was afraid I wouldn't be able to micro them. And of course, yes, as I said, I wanted to appear a little bit weaker. And in late game, even if it's just for scouting or something, air units are always handy.
Got it. Yeah, I will say that making the breakers, of course, was very good because they're magic immune, obviously. And you had a critical point at the end of the game where you bolted and surrounded Qwest Dreadlord, and he had an invulnerability potion, he had a death coil, but you re-surrounded, got the Dreadlord, and TP'd out your Mountain King. That must have been a great moment for you. I think that was definitely the GG move right there.
Yeah, I got a little bit greedy there. I opened up the surround because I said, okay, if he pops the invo pod, I'm gonna go for the Death Knight, forgetting that the Death Knight had a shield. I couldn't get the surround on the decay, and I opened it up for the DL. I was already like, oh shit. But I managed to get the DL stuck again, and yes, it was a big game changer for me, I believe. For Qwest was full block, he couldn't remake him easily, and Dreadlord is such a great late game hero. With Infernal for scouting, for hero arena, and I definitely was happy that I killed that one, and I tried as much as I could to straight go for cigarettes, started to scout mass, so I keep him like supply block that he's never ever gonna go at Dreadlord back because he still had quite a stacked inventory on his heroes, and I was afraid that I'd sell them and wait for 3 or 4 minutes and somehow gets his Dreadlord back.
Makes sense. Last question from me, at least. Now that you are FML champion, will you go for rank 1 on War 3 Champions pad FFA ladder coming out soon?
I wanted actually to take a little break from FFA after this, but depending on how Corona was locked in and how the weather in northern Germany goes this summer, I'm planning on getting a better computer, and I hope this gives me a lot of more fun, because right now it's always a little bit frustrating for me if I lose games because I have like slideshow in very big fights. It's very frustrating for me, and I often lose fun in FFA from time to time due to that. But with a setup, this should be doable. And if I have that prepared and have a rainy summer as usual, I will be nerding this ladder in, I think.
Maybe with your prize pool of FML, you can afford a new computer.
Yeah.
Neo, do you have any last questions?
So, do you have any words for your final competitors now that you beat them pretty much without micro? Should they be scared of you for the next seasons?
What I didn't understand was I can't say much to Younker because I nearly saw nothing of him that game. What I didn't understand was, but maybe it was due to my lack of scouting, is why Qwest helped him. I mean, Younker was on his side of the map. He needed the gold, and usually in the final, you want a 4-way is like 25% chance of winning, 3-way 33%. Usually you want to let that player die, and Qwest would have been in a good spot to take his expansions then. I didn't understand that move by Qwest. And Neutron, I was surprised that he did a little from my opinion, he's a great micro player, very strong, but he did a lot of micro mistakes for his level of player, I would say. He lost his hero a couple of times, which was surprising me. And he did well. He balanced the game well, I would say. He switched around. To me, it looked like he didn't lose his nerves. I really tried to, when you're a little bit, when you play FA for years, you always try to outsmart your opponent. I try to chat a lot and try to get Neutron away from me when they tune want me and towards Qwest. And I did the same to Qwest, like saying his mass farms and stuff. And they both in the end didn't buy this. They both knew I was talking bullshit and kept teaming me. So that was a point that kept me a little bit worried. Elsewise, it was a great game. It was not that long for a FFA game. I had a lot of fun. I think, despite I made plenty of micro mistakes, but it's expected. It was a great game. It was fun. We didn't sit that much, I believe, at least not in my opinion. And it was fun to play with them. And I'm be happy to see them next season again.
Super nice to have you on the show once again. Congrats to the championship. That was one of my first FFA experience after last week, and I once again had a blast. Super action-packed, nice interaction between the players. Neutron being Neutron, a champion without micro, a Russian completely tilted about another Russian. This is absolutely wonderful. We absolutely love FFA. So, guys, if you have any shoutouts, any Twitter accounts, any streams that you want to plug, here's your chance. Starting with the champion, do you have anything you want to promote?
Just thanks for tuning in, and I hope you all enjoyed the game.
Seksi, where can people find you?
Yeah, we did enjoy the game, man. Congratulations. My Twitch is twitch.tv/FML_Seksi, and High-Tac will give his as well. Just like on the semifinal videos, I want to point out that look at the YouTube video that Back to Warcraft will upload. In the comment, I'll put in our Discord channel, the FFA Masters website, and then, of course, Pad, as I noted, is adding free-for-all to the War 3 Champions ladder. It is going to be an active and competitive ladder, I'm sure, and we're all very excited to do so. So come join us, come play some free-for-all, and hope you enjoyed the game. Congratulations again to Shave on Season 31 champion.
Yeah, same.
High-Tech, you being the admin and the guy who invited me, where can people find you?
Yeah, also congratulations from my side. You find me wherever there's FFA. So follow us on twitch.tv/FFA Masters League. And as Seksi said, we will post everything else into the YouTube comments of this Back to Warcraft video. And I hope everyone's going to find some happiness, sometimes drama in FFA. Try it out and don't get frustrated too quickly. Has a lot of depth. And thanks for making this possible, Neo. Thanks for taking the time. Really enjoyed it a lot. Probably the best week for FFA, really, in at least like the last 3 years. This was surely the best.
That's fucking awesome, guys. It was a super blast being by your side, learning so much about FFA. You will do something in June, and I surely hope that I will have the time to be with you either on your stream or here or whatever. I can't get enough of FFA, and I hope too many people will join your Discord. Many people will follow your streams, and people will be craving for more. So I guess we stay in touch and let people know when we continue this partnership.
Let's do it. Thanks a lot.
Wonderful.
And have a great rest of the evening and long weekend for some.
Indeed. Enjoy Father's Day. Have a wonderful evening. Thanks for being with us, and see you next time.
Bye-bye.